The 2-minute recovery.
65, 66. From the workout, we're looking at 7x2K off 2 minutes recovery, so static or an easy jog, whatever Alex wants to do with it. It's a half marathon pace workout. I'm kind of expecting him to run them about 2:55 a K. That's what we've been working off for the last few weeks. It's building in that pace, one zone above marathon work. Hopefully then, from a marathon point of view, legs-wise, heart and lungs-wise, it feels fairly comfortable. We're also within 3 weeks of the marathon now, so this is a slightly smaller version of a session that we've been doing for the last few weeks.
How's the weather been, Alex?
Good so far.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a mixture of days, to be honest. We had
saw the biblical post you
yeah.
put up.
Feels like we've had a good day every day apart from session day, so that's all right. Today's obviously nice, it's just a little bit windy, but I mean, I feel like I could find something to moan about every day if I look for it, so yeah. It's not too bad.
I'm not expecting it to be super hard today, but it might be muscularly if 30K is still in his legs, and he might have to feel his way through, so it's possible the first couple feel a bit clunky until he gets into it. Alex's challenge is probably the best way of putting it into London Marathon. It's been pretty cool as a coach, like it's something that he wanted to do regardless of the outcome. I say challenge, like it's as much down that route as it is around what happens at the end of it. You know, London Marathon's a pretty incredible field this year, and I think the way that Alex and I try and set everything up is that it's very process driven.
Some new shoes.
He'll deliver what he can deliver on the day, and it will be based on how well he can do the little bits going in, but it's not really about a time, it's about seeing what he's got, seeing what's under the bonnet and where we can get to in London. Do you want anything other than this one, or is that enough for the session?
Well, see how far through I get that, and then.
Why don't you start with this and then just come up and grab that one if you need it?
Yeah, yeah. We're going to start over here anyway. It's like that.
The aerobic fitness is there in the grand scheme of things. Like, he does a lot of riding, a lot of swimming, and the crossover from a heart and lungs point of view is likely to be there. The thing we've been working on a lot is the leg conditioning. So we've done quite a lot of long sessions, broken them up probably less than a lot of marathon runners would do, and done some pretty long blocks at marathon pace, partly because he's never done one before. Give us a bit of a feel for what it feels like, what it looks like, what the data says, but also because we're going down a bit more of a conditioning approach. And with that, we've run a lot in singles. Like, the only day Alex double runs is on a Tuesday if he does a shakeout in the morning.
Good running.
Just remember, the recoveries are there to make it not too hard, so that's fine. 10, and particularly within marathon work, having a range of data. For the marathon, we've used heart rate, speed, pace, and we use lab data quite a lot. And so to be able to have accurate heart rate out on a session to go with lactates and to go with pace is a really important thing for us.
Heart rate wasn't really something I used too much before I started this marathon block, and now it's something I use pretty religiously, even from kind of doing my easy runs to now sessions. And I think because we've been doing so much testing in the lab, I have like quite recent and up-to-date metrics of like thresholds, LT1 and LT2, and then steady state running as well. So it means that I can just have quite a good knowledge of like where I'm at in those zones, and if I'm using them correctly and staying in the right place for the sessions.
It's definitely blowy.
Yeah. It's so consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty gusty. So it's quite hard to tell, and you've got to feel his way through it a bit, but it looks fine. 10. "66, 67, 68, 69, 69.7. It looks pretty dialed in now. 15. Go on, when you're ready. I think we've done quite a lot on robustness. Alex doesn't run a super high volume as a triathlete.
How you guys feeling?
Not too bad. Try and sit a bit more steady this one.
Yeah.
That's good. Good on this work. Right.
66, 67, 68, 69.5.
Part of the workout where things start to kind of break down you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it shouldn't get too hard. 30, but it's probably the point where mechanically it starts to feel a little bit, particularly through the back end when it's windy, that last 400, but that's kind of what we want anyway. 20. It's probably also the bit where just running on the front into the wind starts to grate a little bit. 10. Yeah, on you guys. But they're also the bits you've got to get used to at the back end of a marathon as well. You know, you could very well end up doing, I don't know, 15, maybe even 20K on your own, and being able to judge that internally is a pretty big part of it. "62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67.7. That's the one you're allowed to chase on. Bring this one back down a little bit. I got that, but it's quite hard to know where it... 5.4. But it's hard to know where it finishes. 50 seconds, Alex. Which is probably not the worst thing in the world. This will just help you like shut out what's going on around it. Imagine you're at some of the busier points, quite a lot going on, and just focusing on what you're doing.
Ready?
Well, you still got 20 seconds.
Tell me when it's time.
Yeah. I do, but you keep going before that point. 10. 5. On you.
Last one, best one?
Well, hopefully we don't go quicker than the last one. No, I think he'll keep it under control on this one. I think just having other people around from a stimulus change, because whether it's getting used to run behind someone's stride, whether it's chopping and changing the lead, also like not having the control over the pace. I think Alex is fine with both, but generally in a marathon block you end up doing a lot of stuff on your own, so having other people around for a short period of time is really good. Thanks. Good job.
Yeah, it's alright. We picked up on the last one. And it's like kind of like that way.
I could see, because you were running about out here somewhere. No, it's good. Legs seem to have bounced back all right from Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, today's workout was 7x2K. I've come off the back of doing probably my last key marathon session on Friday, which was a 30K kind of marathon feel. So this was kind of a bit of an exploratory session just to see how I felt off the back of it. Kind of sit at as consistent a pace as I could and just try and tick it off today. So trying to tick off 7x2K, holding 70s. Did it in lane 4 to kind of take off the edge of the bends. I'm learning new things about the course every time, which is exciting. I mean, there's so much more to it than I've ever had before in a watch, so I think that's, it's surprising me all the time. I've always made the #1 frame of this London Marathon journey about enjoyment and trying to enjoy doing something different, enjoy the process, enjoy the unknown of what I'm doing and be excited by that, and that's where I'm gonna do my growth and improve. Yeah, I've probably gone from a place of like nervousness to kind of shifting towards like excitement, and I'm sure that will change. Yeah, but 3 weeks out from the London Marathon is yeah. I mean, it's a funny one because I'm seeing, unfortunately, the likes of Emil and Mark pull out, and the one piece of advice I got from Kipchoge over message was make it to the start line, and now that's starting to ring more and more true, that I just need to make sure I get to the start line, because those guys are amazing athletes, and unfortunately, they weren't able to do that. So I'm just really trying to get to the start line so I can enjoy that day, and hopefully put a smile on a few people's faces and maybe mine as well. And hopefully that rings true after the marathon. You know, win, lose or draw, I've put myself on the line. I've given everything I could, and I'm either going to learn the hard way or learn some really good lessons which I can apply into another marathon as well. So I think that's really exciting, and coming off the back end of, I guess, the Olympics and a really good year in 2024, I wanted to just keep on improving and getting better, and it's exciting, and hopefully it goes well.